Welcome back once again to the VCT Game Changers APAC Academy September edition. My name is Grammy and joining me here today is Zach. How are you feeling today?
Hello, I'm very happy to be here, especially with somebody as cool as Grammy. And we're pretty excited to be casting the finals as well as the lower bracket finals for this month's edition of Game Changers Academy. And we had quite a run for most of these teams. It's been some really polished matches, very quick matches most of the time, for lack of a better word. But I think that I think that today's games it's going to be like pretty intense, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, definitely. So let's take a look at the brackets here for a bit. So yesterday we did cover the upper round three upper bracket finals as well as the lower bracket semi-finals. Ohana Excelsior actually making it to the lower bracket finals after beating out Hurricanes yesterday, as well as No Game Sense actually making it to the grand finals after beating out Chicken Kebab, who are going to be playing against Ohana Excelsior here. That's going to be the first matchup for today: Chicken Kebab against Ohana Excelsior. And both these teams, we've seen them play yesterday already. Chicken Kebab, they have a bit of, I would say, not so meta based playstyle. They have Absolutes, who is an absolutely terrifying Reyna player when they were playing against No Game Sense yesterday on Haven. And they managed to pull off a couple of good rounds, but ultimately, I think the team composition didn't really allow them to play as flexibly as No Game Sense did, which is why they're now gonna be up against Ohana Excelsior, who actually beat out Hurricanes on the map of Ascent yesterday, 13-10. So both these teams coming into this, I think there's a lot of potential, and they're looking really really good for this.
You're definitely right there. Before I talk more about it, though, let's take a look at what these teams have been fighting for over the course of the last couple of days. This is the prize pool. The first place will be walking away with $250 USD. The second one will be 150, and third and fourth will each get $50. Now, Academy is a nice little initiative that I think is pretty exclusive to APAC, where at least in the manner that it's conducted, where only players below Plat 3 can really participate. So it gets players from female and marginalized genders who are new to the game or just starting out, who want to start playing competitively but have no idea to start. It's a good platform for them to like really manage to find their footing and see how exactly the competitive life suits the event. I think that we've actually had some players from Academy move on to play in the main VCT before, so it's definitely working, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. There's been a few names I recognized when I was looking at the VCT, the actual main circuit for the VCT game changes, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. Seeing these players go from playing the academy tournaments into the official tournaments, it's just amazing to see them how they improve throughout the months.
Yeah, it's insane. Like I think even if they don't make it to the playoffs, right? Even in the group stages,
Yeah.
they still manage to win at least a couple of matches. So seeing how competitive the VCT Opens and all the other tournaments in that circuit tend to get, it's amazing that players who start off like flat three or below are able to like really hold their own against that. And I think it's a great initiative because when it's month on month, you will always have like a training circuit for new talents to come in and really try their hand at a competitive environment. So I think it's one of the best things that APAC Game Changers really has to offer for not just players but also like casters. I think because Grammy and I we both started there, so look where we are now.
I mean, definitely a good initiative indeed. And I do think, back again to the brackets, the winners, the grand final, one of the grand finalists, No Game Sense. I do think they have a lot of potential. Looking at the way that they play, sure they might not be as skilled mechanically to be able to like play in maybe the main circuit, but looking at the utility usage and their team composition and how they play off of each other, I think they have a lot of potential.
I mean, they've been stomping the brackets from what I could see. They've been having like the only game that was relatively close was against Chicken Kebab. I think that was like a 13-8, but everything else it's been more or less like a almost a stomp. I would say like there was a 13-3 somewhere. I don't know. They've just been dominating the brackets since they started their run. So I think that there's a reason why they're the team in that grand final that we're going to be seeing after this matchup today. But talking about the first map, which is going to be Kebab versus Ohana Excelsior. So like you mentioned, Ohana Excelsior, they have managed to win before. Yesterday, on the same map, or at least on Ascent. But today we're going to be heading into Icebox, which is an entirely different game. And I think the last time that these two teams did face off, Chicken Kebab on Icebox, if I'm not wrong, Chicken Kebab were able to beat them. So this is kind of like a revenge matchup, you know? Both these teams are facing off for the second time in this tournament on the same map. This time, though, who will come out on top? Because last time it was Chicken Kebab who managed to find the victory. Will Ohana Excelsior be able to get revenge? That's going to be the question that I think everybody watching is going to be asking themselves.
And Icebox, what do you think about Icebox? What do you think we're gonna see in terms of like maybe team compositions?
I mean, I hope we see Arena, that's for sure. I haven't seen Arena really pull out on this map since like Tens played it like a year ago. But Arena part, I think we'll definitely be seeing a Viper, most likely be seeing a Sova. These two are like agents that you very rarely see Icebox being played at. I've played without, I guess you'll see either a Sage or a KO, and most likely a Chamber. And of course, that duelist. Sometimes you do really see that duelist being replaced with another initiator like KO, but I think most of the time the comp is pretty stable. It's Jet, sometimes Reyna, but mostly Jet. You have that Chamber who everybody likes because, you know, free operator, yay. Viper, Sova, and either Sage or Q. I think that's what we'll be seeing. Not much in terms of meta changes when it comes to Icebox, at least.
I mean, Zach, I think you may get your wish because yesterday Chicken Kebab, when they were playing against No Game Sense, their main duelist was Arena, and that was their only duelist. So I'm excited to see whether or not they will pull out the same solo duelist Reina setup again here, since their Reina player Absolute was insane. I kid you not, she was insane.
I mean, I didn't really watch as much as I would like, but I went through like the some of the VODs before today, and I completely agree with you. I think whenever radar players do pop up, they're either really insane or it's very disappointing because Reina is an agent like that, right? It's purely aim
Yeah.
and skill based. Like if you don't manage to pop off and if you don't manage to get those skills, your utility is gonna be basically useless. Because I know she has a blind, but let's face it, the Lear it gets instantly broken these days. So her main potential is being able to get those pop off multi frags one after the other, and you know going as she gets like an ace on that Everest. So yeah, I think she's one of those agents where you either pop off or you don't. And I think that like you mentioned, the Reina forward side of Chicken Kebab definitely a pop off Reina.
And I mean, in terms of team composition, I do think Ohana Excelsior they will tend to play a bit more meta based. So I do think we're gonna be seeing the Viper and the Sova as you mentioned. And in terms of Sentinels, though, I think Sage. Do you think Sage is a necessary pick for Icebox itself, or do you think she can be replaced by another agent like a K or something?
So when Icebox came out, Sage got a lot of pick rate because of that tube, right? There was no chamber then. Cypher, he wasn't really good for the entire map, though you did see a little bit of play. And, but before the map reworks came in, it was really, really hard to plant on either side without a Sage in your pocket. So I think that's a reason why she saw like such a high pick rate. But since Chamber came out, you've been able to like get over the walling the tube problem by just putting down a trademark instead. So that's something that he managed to find a lot of value with. Not just the fact that you know he's insane and he can get kills out with an operator and he's basically a duelist, but also the fact that he can just take care of tube by himself. Second thing about Sage is with the reworks coming in, you still have safe angles to plant in, and you don't have to worry so much about being able to get the spike down. It's still nice that wall gives you like an additional bit of security. You can leap up on it, catch the enemy by surprise. All those things are there, but I think that you can do without it. You do see quite a few teams in the main VCT running a team comp where there is no Sage. They like to go in for that KO instead, like I mentioned, because you get a lot more information. That null command is incredibly powerful. You also see whenever people do take up that duelist, they replace Jet or they go for a raise instead. They like to run that fade as well. So you see like a Swa fade or a fade KO combo coming in. So I think that that might be a possibility as well. But I was looking through the stats and I don't think either of these duelists from these teams really plays raise on this particular map. So I think it's mostly going to be a Jet Arena.
How likely do you think we'll see double duelist?
Likely not so much. I hope so, yes, but I think that we've speculated enough. We're going to be heading right into Agent Select, so let's see if our predictions are right or wrong for today. Oh. Okay, there we go. There's Arena.
I mean, we do have the Viper, as you mentioned, the Jet on the side of Ohana Excelsior, and the Reina pick coming in once again for Chicken Kebab. Actually going in for a double initiator composition this time, Fade and Sova. So they're doing without the KO that you mentioned, but they have a lot of information on their hands with that Fade and Sova combination.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they're gonna be working in the Fate. They're running the Killjoy instead of the Chamber, which has both its advantages and disadvantages. Killjoy's utility is much more useful for really like locking down a site, but uh, you're gonna be stuck there. You're not gonna be able to rotate. You're gonna be forced to play as an anchor basically, unless you're like revolving around the mid area because your utility is so region locked. So I think that might be both an advantage and a disadvantage. But this fade is what really interests me. Coming in for the side of chicken
Choose your
kebabs. Maybe
agent.
it's because of the fact that they're on attack, so the prowlers can find a lot of value. The lineups that are absolutely insane. So that does know that.
I mean, have you seen that the one C's lineup where it just catches you like at the choke point in
Yeah,
A and then you go
Neck.
flying. You actually go flying. It's so funny to watch.
I don't know if they fixed it yet, but yeah, I've seen that video. It's insane. Like you throw it up, and then if somebody's around nest or something, it just grabs them and like yanks them up. You can't do anything. You're just helpless. You're just there to shoot them. So I wonder if we see that, I will be very happy to subscribe for this because I haven't seen that in an actual game so far. I would love to see it. I'm just mean that way.
I'm just thinking about the whether or not we actually see that lineup coming through. But Ohana Excelsior, they're going in for this, I guess, more meta pick agent composition on the side of on the map of Icebox itself. Sage and Chamber combination. The Sage really good for those safe plants, especially if maybe like going in for an A or especially on the B side plant where you can just get swarmed by like so many people when you're planting. But starting out on a defense, you're gonna be leaning. The Sage is gonna be leaning towards the A side
There.
itself, and
There.
that could be a very key to countering this aggressive push that might be coming out from Chicken Kebab. It seems like going for this 5 stack towards the A side.
Oh yeah, they've decided the A side is where they want to go. It's where they're gonna be setting their eyes as they go forward. You already see them walking up, all five of them, in fact, and it's gonna make for an intriguing thing. That Alonbot is there for a late flank. However, it's not gonna really watch towards belt if somebody decides to flank from there. The Prowler finding some early info that there is a player towards backside. That wall going to deny much in the way of aggression, and that recon bolt will be pushing the one player that made it forward back. In the meantime, though, look at Shimo's position. The chamber has already walked up towards mid. It's not going to be pushing further because the turret is going to give away that position, but Superbad might be the first person to walk into Shimo's crosshairs. Ooh, putting down that trademark might have caused a sound, and Superbad tries to aggress off the back of that, but Shimo's going to be the one to find that first blood. Instead, Absolutes, though, they strike back, able to find that shot onto Nora, getting that overheal, and now the Reyna is at 150. How are you going to take down that Reyna? Spike goes down, and now 3v4 retake for the side of Ohana Excelsior.
Adversary picking up one on the counterpart Chicken Kebab though.
One enemy remaining.
As well as another. Oh, it seems like the trade's becoming in the favor of Ohana Excelsior right now. Momo just trying to do what she can, but unfortunately she's eventually gonna fall to Shimo, who picks up the pistol round for her team, Ohana Excelsior.
Teleport's ready.
Excellent that they found the first, because this is a revenge match of Ohana Excelsior. They've already lost to Chicken Kebab once before, and they really don't want a repeat of this fate because this is the lower bracket. There is no more second chances available for either team. The winner goes on to the final, and well, the loser is just going to be third or fourth place for them. So they really don't want to risk letting it slip out of their hands, and I really gotta admire them because Ohana Excelsior, they as soon as the spike went down, they were ready for that retake. They just didn't give Chicken Kebab any time to get into their post-plant positions, and they just pushed on. They were able to trade out very effectively, and I think that Shimo finding that first pick down towards mid is extremely crucial because there was no fade utility really available to try and stop the diffuser, find some information. Off the back of that, though, I think that this time it's going to be a little bit of noise made towards B, but that Marshall strikes Absolutes is going to go down, and that's going to be the duelist off the board for Chicken Kebab here.
So instantly, aggression being stopped. Tao doesn't seem the one to give up this angle towards this cross here, and the players of Ohana, the Chicken Kebab, they're somewhat aware of this, so they're not really gonna go exploring too far too deep as of yet. Super bad though. Seems to want to go hit towards mid, maybe try and find a little bit of information there where actually two players playing towards the mid position. Could be a dangerous situation, but Tao picking up another once again. Barrier up to come through. Once again, the aggression coming in from ChickenKebab.
I mean, that's going to be yet another player falling. Just two left right now. At least they are in control of the spike, but they don't have much to work with in the name of utility. And already, adversary has made their way over towards the spawn, able to find one. Can they connect the second? Is going to be the question. Get the headshot in. Very, very low. And yeah, that's going to be the last nail in the coffin for the side of ChickenKebab over the course of this anti-eco here. And I think it's a flawless for Ohana Excelsior to top things off. So they're going to be keeping all of their weapons, such as the march and those structures heading into this particular round. Adversary as well, with the help of those 2 kills, is going to have enough money to possibly buy in a Vandal if they want to. But it seems like they're debating, okay, do I do it? Should I risk it? Because we've seen so many of these bonus rounds really like flip over just because of the fact that a rifle or a Spectre was dropped and, you know, a Reyna picks it up, for example. It could go over pretty badly. Either way, though, it is going to be the full buy coming in right now for the side of ChickenKebab, and they're choosing to stake their claim towards the mid area instead. That Haunt not going to spot anybody towards mid, but nevertheless, there are 2 players watching. So if they decide to go forward through that Viper's smoke, they might be caught by by these 2 players, the Sage and the Viper, who are already spraying into the smoke to prevent any kind of incursions really coming in. It's going to slow down the push, but not really completely halting it, because ChickenKebab, well, it seems like they want to go in for presence towards that tube area instead. I think Nora has spotted that out though. Oof.
Absolute's the first to find first blood onto adversary. That's the Sova down. No more information for the side of Ohana, Excelsior, and Nora spots out a couple more players towards mid as well. But the B side already being stormed by these players of ChickenKebab as the spike makes its way towards the side. Viper, Namhongi taking out 2 of her own, and Absolute is good for another. And suddenly, the tides have turned. Ohana, Excelsior, just last player alive here. The Spectre in hand. Not gonna find much as Absolute 3 kills in the round, flawless round coming through for ChickenKebab to bring them the first point on the board.
I think right now that's going to leave Absolutes with the Empress ready as well if she chooses to, and they're going to be keeping all of their rifles, steadily building up the economy over the course of this map. And economy is such an important factor on a map like Icebox because, you know, on other maps where you don't have to really take these long range fights, you can get away perhaps with using something like a Judge or a Spectre or something. You can actually try to make the round work, but on Icebox it's so crucial to have these Vandals or at least a rifle in place if you really want to take these long range engagements and do your best to do so. This time though, it's going to be Ohana Excelsior not only with the full buy but also with that operator, I think, already finding value. It's going to be the Killjoy who's the first blood right now. Ohana Excelsior, they're going to be able to aggress, find that, and then fall back. And in the meantime, Super Bad on the lurk manages to get the trade. Things are back down to a 4v4, and ChickenKebab's push, well, it's slowed down but not entirely stopped.
But Tao already making her way towards the B side. Nora spotting out one of the players rotating towards B as well. It's already here, spots out one, but unfortunately shot does not connect. Toxic screen to come through as well as a plant. It's gonna go down on this B side. Nora spraying through this smoke to find what she can, but Absolute though trying to go aggressive here beyond this wall of safety. The toxic screen is hiding in this close corner. Nora, she has to check it. Unfortunately, she's gonna fall adversary. Nora pick up kills of their own, and Tao good for another whip. That operator all up to Super Bad, who found the first pick in the round, but will she be able to close it out? A barrier orb is already coming through as well as a defuse, and she's gonna get taken down by that orb of Tao's. So Ohana Excelsior, they respond back in favor. Another point on the board for them.
This was beautiful coming in from Tao. Gets that first pick, knows that it's probably going to trigger a rotation because you really don't want to try and push into an operator, especially when you don't have proper utility to try and clear it out. They don't have a Sova drone, they don't have a proper flash because the layer gets instantly broken. So the rotation from Tao was so pivotal here because it immediately caused a lot of trouble coming in for the ChickenKebab players. They really were struggling to get onto side, and after that, it completely demolished their idea of post plan because this is a team that really likes to get aggressive in their post plan. You saw that the last round from the Reyna, how they went all the way over to the CT, were able to find 2 picks off the back of that. But that kind of idea, that kind of play is completely stopped in its tracks with the help of that operator. And I think that's a major key reason why Ohana Excelsior were able to walk away with that round. Off the back of that, though, I don't know, ChickenKebab has the economy for another buy. They should, but it might be a little bit broken. And this is a good timeout to call, because at this point, Ohana Excelsior, they're going to be feeling very confident. ChickenKebab have to figure out how exactly they can deal with that operator and really try to make these rounds work going forward, because their utility, well, it's looking a little bit difficult for them.
I mean, they do have the Viper split this time around to try and counter that operator.
You have to get onto site. That's the main problem for them right now. But I agree. If they can get that Viper spit down, it might be a condition. They also do have that lockdown, so it could be used to push all these players off the side at the very least. So they have 2 pivotal ults to work with for this round. Already it seems like that's going to be the battle plan as they head towards this A side with help of that lockdown. Possibly the operator swinging wide this time. Tao not able to find much value off the back of it. Still not afraid to get aggressive though, peeking out, and might be rewarded for it. But second time around, it's going to be 2 less time to really hit that shot again. And off the back of that, there's going to be enough space for that lockdown to be committed. However, you see that Nora isn't afraid to get aggressive, gets spotted out by the Joan, and with the help of that counter Joan and that Sova, so much value being found right now. 2 for 1, Absolute is able to trade it out, but still, at least when it comes to manpower, the advantage is still in the hands of Ohana Excelsior, who are now in this retake position. The question is, will this drone clear out Absolute? Yes, it does, and off the back of that, Shimo is able to find that pick. Moments tag, still manages to take down Tar. Just 2 players left right now. Make that 1. It's all down to just the Sova. No Hunter's Fury to really work with. Has to hit these shots. But unfortunately, it's going to be Shilu who finds the better of them instead. Ohana Excelsior 4-1 right now.
Nora's Sage utility is really good to watch. I'm looking at it, a barrier orb to cover the left side of the 410, and a slow orb to slow any push from coming in. Because what a barrier orb does is it kind of funnels the players of ChickenKebab to going towards that other side of 410 to a right side, and the slow orb just kind of shuts that down completely if they don't break the barrier orb.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that I think the Viper went down before they could really get the pit online, so perhaps they didn't want to invite things, but the buy is going to be a bit broken this time around from the side of team ChickenKebab. You do see an Ares of all things for the Killjoy. Reina, she'll still be able to get that Vandal to play with, and I think that it is going to be the B side they're funneling to this time, and yet again Tall with the operator is ready to go, misses the shot and tries to desperately stay alive here, able to dodge out on that Ares spray, takes a little bit of damage but is still going to be alive if nothing else. Goes forward yet again with the operator despite all of this and manages to find the shot. Adversary with the backup 2 already on the round right now for Ohana Excelsior, and they're still peeking, they're still fighting, trying to get these shots. ChickenKebab able to trade out the Sova. That's gonna be it. The last 2 players, they're stuck right now towards this B air approach here. The Viper does get spotted out, but yet again the operator strikes 3 again for Tal. 1 more left to find, and Nambongi, well, surrounded on all sides. It's going to be Shilu who says, look, I can be the only Viper in this particular round. No more for you. And Ohana Excelsior, they are completely snowballing their lead right now, 5-1.
That shot onto Absolute was insane. Tao just keeping her cool even as she's being pushed by so much utility and so much spam with that Ares especially, and still landing that headshot onto Absolute. That was very really clean coming in from her. But this time around though, ChickenKebab, they do have rifles except for Superbad, who's actually running with the classic this time around. And Tao once again holding this belt position, looks away just a little bit too early, and this is a shot onto Absolutes. ChickenKebab, they're gonna be pushing up towards the A side here, and Nora stalling them, waiting for the rotations to come through as well from Ohana Excelsior.
Here.
It's so deadly silent right now. All this utility being dumped, but the noise has completely been cut. And I don't know, Ohana Excelsior might not know that these players are still here, but that's gonna be the information queue they need. And they still have a 3-stack towards the site. You can see Absolute spraying desperately for her life, doing so much damage, but it's still going to be Adversary finding the pick as that kill comes through, the reload comes in, and unfortunately Absolutes is going to be going down the first pick yet again, going for Ohana. Excelsior the second as well. The operator is singing as Tall manages to find one and still gets aggressive. It's going to be ChickenKebab who finally finds one before being traded out, and yet again it's going to be just these two remaining players, Namhongi and Momurts. But that alarm bot is going to give away Shimo's position, being able to take it down 2v3. It's a much more manageable situation. Already you can see Adversary and one more player running for the rotation towards his B side, and either they go towards A, they manage to go back towards A, or they walk into Taw's operator yet again. Unfortunately, that is going to be Momurt's going down. With 10 seconds left, Namogi has to make a choice. Either they run towards the A side or they keep hold on to this gun for the next round, because the economy is not great right now, and with no time left, it is going to be the save coming through. ChickenKebab, they managed to hold on to that Viper's Pit and that rifle, but at the cost of letting Ohana Excelsior really build up that lead. And look at this. This is so unfortunate. It reminds me of all my competitive games and sprays, and how I miss all I spray, I don't hit anything, but my opponent sprays like 3 bullets and they get a headshot through a spray. That's what that reminds me of.
30 seconds left.
It's like, you know, the debate between the Vandal and the Phantom, and then you have the Vandal spray just drawing a rainbow circle around your opponent.
Little heart, like, hello there.
There.
Oh, I feel really
Goodbye
bad.
once again though. ChickenKebab and Aries coming through. Maybe able to find some value this time around. Adversary, you're gonna get spotted out. 50 health once again, but Tao is there for the backup in case the players of ChickenKebab decide to go aggressive towards this mid position. But seems like once again A is the place that they want to go exploring here.
Just walking up with that Sheriff, because of the fact that there's been no real noise, that stage wall has been invested this time around. That Haunt though is going to give away the information that it is going to be this A side that's under attack. Absolutes get spotted out but manages to stay alive. But look at this again, quick rotation coming in right now from these players from these players from Ohana Excelsior. Tall with the operator denying the spike plant right now, and the backup is there. They're quick to get these trades, quick to get these kills. Tall's just a distraction. Adversary is the one you have to watch out for. They're the real adversary. And between the two of them, they managed to clean up the round. A flawless yet again for Ohana Excelsior. And, you know, this round, everybody was focused on Todd. The operator got one, but after that, everybody was watching this angle, and Adversary took full advantage of that to really just walk up and find every other kill. Beautiful hold from Ohana Excelsior.
I feel like this round is just an illustration of why you kind of need a sage to get a safe plant down. Because if you try to force a plant without really holding that rafters angle, you're gonna get shot by an operator like that.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's a very questionable plant when you don't have entire side control. Nobody really even went for the backside. They just said, okay, let's just go for the plant. But yeah, Tao managed to swing and find a kill right off the back of that. I think yet again, it's going to be a buy coming in for the side of ChickenKebab, who are very patient this time, walking up towards B instead, not making any noise. Nora is going to be the first point of contact. Spots out that turret, will be moving away before it really connects. And if they don't clear this yellow, it's going to be so dangerous right now. Already being able to find one, doing a lot of damage before finally going down. Lurk towards mid is going to be taken down as well. So that is going to be ChickenKebab with 3 players left to Ohana Excelsior's 4. And Woods is so low right now. 11 HP to her name, making things so difficult. The one good thing that's going in their favor is they managed to find North. That's going to be no more resurrection available. But, you know, who needs a resurrection when you have someone like Shimo able to find these headshots? Shimo, knowing that perhaps that they're really low HP, just 1 bullet away, are going to be opting to play with that Tour de Force instead of their actual gun, because, you know, the Tour de Force is a one-shot weapon. And with these last 2 players, what exactly can they do here? They are going towards that A side, but already there are 2 from the side of Ohana Excelsior who have been excellent with these quick rotates so far. They have both their ults available, but I don't think they're going to be able to find much with the last 20 seconds left. It might just be better for them to possibly go for a save.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I don't think the players of Ohana Excelsior really want to let them do that. Though we already see Adversary coming in from the back. This players of ChickenKebab, they're gonna be surrounded really soon. The Tour de Force hits and mark on the ChickenKebab, and suddenly it's all up to Momo, who can't do anything but fall to Adversary, who's coming in from the flank, and it's 8 points on the board for Ohana Excelsior.
flawless yet again. Not a flawless, sorry. Almost flawless, only losing one player out. And at this point, I don't even have to look at their economy to know it's thriving. They're probably going to be able to buy like every... Look at adversary, 8k in the bank and everything else besides. They also have 3 ultimates to their name. That Hunter Sphere is going to be ready to go again. And they're only 2 away from that Viper's Pit as well. As for the side of ChickenKebab, they do have 4 ultimates, but not much in the way of economy. And this is very interesting because they've had this Viper's Pit and this lockdown for the last like 4 or 5 rounds, and they've just not been able to use it. They've been holding on to it for a very long time. And in this eco, I don't know if it's going to be the round where they finally commit it. Yet again, Ta is going to be the person to try and be as a barricade for this approach coming in, finding that first pick again. Time and time again, ChickenKebab, they're not using utility to really clear out these crucial angles. Now, perhaps they don't have the economy, or this time around, at least it might not be a question of economy, but Tall is just finding so much value with that help of that operator. And as soon as his first blood comes in, yet again, you can see how quick the rotation is. 2 players come to reinforce the site, but it is going to be moment with that Aries able to find 2 somehow. Tall is going to be coming back though, has the Blade Storm pop, finally thinking that, look, I know the operator is good, but let me show you what I can do with the Blade Storm. And it's going to be a 3v4 right now.
Here.
Noting down the position of Superbad though, that waiting for the cross here, and Momo, she's down to a sliver of health, and Superbad, I think she's aware that there's an operator holding this position and she doesn't
30
really want
seconds
to try and go for a rotate, but the spy is going to be making its way towards this B site. The resurrection to come through though, and Shilu shuts down Superbad, so numbers advantage secured for Ohana Excelsior as the spike plan is gonna go down safely onto this B side. The retake rotations coming through as well from the CT position.
Yeah, they do at least get the spike down, which is a definite plus over the last 4 or 5 rounds that we've seen. But almost all the players for the side of Ohana Excelsior are alive. They have a lot of utility to work with, and these players only have sheriffs to really work. And yet again, that barrier orb is going to prove to be so pivotal right now. The Blade Storm managing to find one, but that shot from ChickenKebab is going to be able to find the trade. But that's going to be all because that barrier orb is yet again going to let these players really find the diffuse. And off the back of that, it's going to be a 9th round for Ohana Excelsior, who are steamrolling ChickenKebab on this map so far. On defense, they look absolutely impeccable right now. They've only lost 1 round, and that was the full buy, which I think ChickenKebab really had. They had Spectres and Sheriffs to play with against the rifles, but once they got rifles into their hands, they haven't lost a single round. And more than the rifle, I think it can be attributed to the operator from Ta, which I think consistently round after round is able to find at least one, and usually like a multi-kill.
This time around though, ChickenKebab, they want to switch it up a little bit, going towards this B side, but they're going to get spotted out by Nora.
You should run.
So with the rotations coming in, the lockdown to come through, secure this space onto the site for a plant.
Nobody really choosing to play on site. They are going to be committing all the ults they have right now to try and make this round work. The spike, it goes down, but I think that the Hunter's Fury has already tagged up one player. Not going to be able to find a kill, but they still managed to get that first damage in at the very least. A full 5v5 retake is what we're looking at. That sees managing to hold on to Ta here, and they have to deal with all of this utility. I think that the Hunter's Fury is also available, and oh no, the Odin and the Snakebite are finding so much value. She will finally be able to trade out, but the utility being dumped in this Viper's Pit right now is so crucial. Adversary able to take down Namogi though, so that's going to be the Viper's Pit at least tonight, and now they're working their way over up towards this yellow. 1v3 left to find, gets one, knows the position of the second, but there's no time, and well, Momo is going to be able to find that last pick, and finally after I think 7 rounds of losses, it is going to be ChickenKebab able to get their second on the board. Sure, they had to use 2 ultimates to do it, but they still have both that Nightfall as well as that Hunter's Fury left to go. So if they can find one more round, they might be able to, and put up a strong defense, they might be able to make a comeback. Might.
I mean, 2 operators. Okay, never mind. Towers. Switching back to the... Oh, yeah, she has enough money for both. I'm not gonna question it anymore. But 2 operators on the side of Ohana Excelsior. So no matter where these players of ChickenKebab go, there's gonna be a big gun with a very long barrel staring directly at them. Which, how deciding to fall off this angle. The timing not going so well for her, but the Viper's Pit committed down on this A side. Spots out the turret, so she's aware that Mama, she's heading towards the belt. And upon hearing this the operator shots, rotation's gonna come through, but forces them right into the crosshair of Shimo, who picks up one onto Mama. Gonna go in for more.
Teleport's ready.
Ooh.
It was close. Almost hits the mark on the Namhongi as well. Oh, but okay.
Okay.
It's so close. Oh
Oh.
no, the timing just not working out in super bad favor, but Namhongi lands a headshot onto Shimo. That's an operator down on the side of Ohana. Excelsior, one more to go, but Shiloh picks up another towards the ace site as well.
30 seconds left.
Ooh, that Lyra is gonna
Spike
save the
planted.
Planter's life as Tall
One
will be
enemy
forced to
remaining.
fall back. However, Adversary will still be able to find both as they come on flank. And Adversary has proven to be the true adversary right now for ChickenKebab, finding so much rally. I want to look at the kill feed, but I think that she's almost at 20 right now, if I'm not wrong. So off the back of that Ohana Excelsior, they're gonna have an extremely successful first half, 10-2, and they're definitely showing that, look, we might have lost to you last time, but we've done our homework, we've done our prep, and we know how to play this map so that we can win it. Look at this replay. You know, it's bad enough when you have to contend with one operator. I don't think they expected Shimo to really pull out that second, but it's the last round. You know, what are you gonna do with all the money? You might as well, you know, get that operator online, and that's exactly what Shimo might have.
One enemy remaining.
Adversary with the flank, able to find those two. That's just huge right now because the distraction, yeah, 19 and 5. That's like an almost 40 game.
I'm just thinking like, how? That's okay. I'm not gonna question it. If you add up both her
was
kills
doing
and her
that.
assists, she's gonna have like one kill assist every single two kills or assist every single round, and that's so much impact being brought as a solo player. But it seems like this time around, Ohana Excelsior on their pistol, they're going to go for his Fox execute onto this ace side already. Off the back of this Hour Drone, Tao picks up one absolute for the trade. And Prowler coming through, trying to push these players of Ohana Excelsior off of this angle. The barrier up to come through though from Ohana Excelsior, but Absolute picks up another onto Nora as well. Shiloh trying to do what she can, but Absolute is going on an absolute roll right now. Can
One
she find
enemy
another one
remaining.
onto
Last player
Sorry, that's the
standing.
question. Down to the 1v1 between what's out the hand, but Adversary is the one who takes her down. 11 points on the board for Ohana Excelsior as they secure the second pistol round of the game.
I feel really bad for Absolutes here because she did so much. She found 3 picks and was constantly taking those fights, but unfortunately she had to go in for that reload, and Adversary found the timing, especially this second kill onto Mumurts. That was fantastic because they knew that the turret was probably going to come out any second. Adversary knew that they had to get aggressive there, and they were really able to just capitalize on the pandemonium going down on that side and find that last pick, and that just might be the demise of the hopes of the side of ChickenKebab. They are forcing into this particular round, and there is going to be that gun towards mid. The Ares already able to find one yet again. Mumurts with the Ares is going to be the player that strikes, but the spike plants is still nevertheless going to go down here. 2 players though towards this B area are going to be trying to find value, and despite Namhogi able to find that headshot, it's not going to be enough here. Adversary yet again holding these pivotal angles, preventing the rotations, finding the lurks here, and it's going to come down to the 3 remaining players from ChickenKebab to really try and make this defuse work. They don't know the positions. They know that there's a player towards mid, but that's going to be it. Tao is going to be found out as well as they find that kill onto super bad. Just the Ares and the Spectre, but ChickenKebab being taken down by this crossfire, and it's all down to just the word 2. That's a lot of damage, but it's not going to be able to close out the kill. And off the back of that, Ohana Excelsior, they get to match point and locking in their slot in that grand final. More than that, though, I think that the economy right now is almost hopeless for the side of ChickenKebab, and well, I don't think any of us expected this match to be this dominant of a show from them.
Timeout coming through for the side of ChickenKebab to try and stem the bleeding, but with 12 points, match point already given to Ohana Excelsior, it's gonna be a really tall task from here on out because you can't afford to make any more mistakes.
I mean, that's true. They're gonna have to find 10 rounds in a row somehow against a dominant performance being shown by Ohana Excelsior. They have to find 10 rounds and they have to do it. Each round they're gonna have to try and build up the economy. They can't afford to lose too many players. They have to deal with ultimates coming in from ChickenKebab. I think some of the players are actually close to theirs despite being only 2 rounds into this half, and they have a lot to work with. It's a very difficult situation right now. We've seen teams do it before, but of course, like teams like Orangutan, they managed to pull off like 11-1 half. They managed to come back from that and win in overtime. But 12-2, I'm not sure. That pistol was their last chance, honestly, to really try and mount a proper comeback. But with that slipping out of their hands, ChickenKebab, they're looking at a very steep hill to climb right now.
Odin. Uh-oh.
Take them
Is
off.
this... Oh no. She wants to gun them all down.
She's not in the right. Is she in the right spot to do it? That's the question. Yep, she is. They're gonna be running forward. 3 players left, and I think Shimu might just be happy to hold this particular angle with the Odin. Already you can see the wallbang coming through. They're gonna hear the noise from that particular gun as the spray comes in, but these 3 players are not gonna be speaking into it really. Superbrat tries to get one with the Bucky, but Adversary is immediately gonna shut that down. The trade does come through, but Tall is too fast and too furious right now. Overheating a little bit though, as it's gonna be Moritz who manages to finally take him out. A 2v3 right now. At least Adversary's health is gonna be very low, and that's gonna enable Moritz to really find that pick. It's all down to just a Killjoy here in a 1v2 against the Odin, and it's gonna come down to which one is better, which gun has the is going to be more broken, and it's gonna be Shimu with the Odin closing it out. Like you mentioned, Grammy, that's gonna be the gun to watch out for, and Shimu fighting 2 off of it. It's going to get Ohana Excelsior their victory 13-2. I think that's the most dominant scoreline we've had over the course of this entire tournament so far. 25-6
So. 25-6. How?
on a
How
solo.
do you do this? Okay. This adversary just went on a roll, and Tao with its support as well. That operator of hers finding so much value in the defending rounds, especially.
Insane, yeah. Like every single round that the operator was online, if they went to that site without fail, they managed to get a kill. But also the rotations coming in, I have to point out from Ohana Excelsior that they were beautiful around it. They find a pick, they twist the operator over, and they bring 2 players in to cover that instead. And this was constantly a theme throughout the match. So you'd think, okay, Tao's on the A side. We lost a player. Let's not walk into the operator yet again. And they go over to B, and guess what? Tao's just waiting for them to walk into her operator's crosshairs. And we've seen it happen so many times over the course of the map. A lot of the time, despite having so much utility to their name, you saw that ChickenKebab, they weren't really using it. They didn't use the Prowler as much. The drone really didn't get much usage, and the Lear as well. 1 or 2 times it was used, but I think a lot of utility was just not really utilized properly by the side of ChickenKebab, and that let Tao get away with so many of these cheeky operator kills. But adversary, well, that's just pure timing and talent.
Yeah, but ChickenKebab, I mean, Ohana Excelsior, they're gonna be making it to the grand finals here against No Game Sense once again in a best of 3. So that's gonna be a really exciting match to watch, because looking at the game from yesterday, No Game Sense, they actually performed super well once they got their footing against ChickenKebab, especially, as well as Hurricanes. And I think Ohana Excelsior are gonna have a really tough game on their hands coming into this.
Well, at least they will be motivated, because when you're coming off a 13-2 win, you're going to be feeling very confident and pleased with yourself. The question is, will that translate into overconfidence or not? But before we head into the grand finals best of 3, we're going to be taking a short break, so stay tuned.